Tom Fox, staff photographer. New York Giants fans react to their team losing in the fourth quarter against the Dallas Cowboys at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Sunday, December 10, 2017. Tom Fox, The Dallas Morning News. There hasn't been a shortage of storylines in the NFC East this offseason. Odell Beckham is no longer in the division. Washington pulled Landon Collins away from the Giants and signed Case Keenum, and Philadelphia solidified its backfield with Jordan Howard, as well as bolster its defensive line, signing Malik Jackson. Sportsday caught up with beat writers from each NFC East team to discuss major topics of discussion heading into April's NFL Draft. In our second installment, we chatted with the New York Daily News' Pat Leonard. 1. What are the Giants going to do with Eli Manning? Leonard, the Giants could have saved a lot of money against the cap by getting rid of Eli Manning this year. And they have been up against the cap this year. Essentially, not only does it come down to Eli's declined performance, but it also has to do with the direction of your franchise. It would be one thing to say the Giants are throwing in the towel for the short term and rebuilding for the future, and that they are looking for the long term. But keeping Eli doesn't fit in that mold. Yes, they are getting rid of Odell Beckham, Landon Collins, and are getting rid of players that were part of these losing teams, but they aren't getting rid of the quarterback, who is a huge part of those losing teams. 2. If Ohio State QB Dwayne Haskins is available at number 6, do the Giants draft him? Leonard, it would be interesting to see the Giants pass on Dwayne Haskins at no. 6, because if he's available at no. 6, it would seem that a team that needs a quarterback of the future as much as the Giants do should take Haskins there. Even though Haskins is an exciting prospect, you won't find many people who will tell you that he is the best player available in this draft at no. 6 overall because of how strong the defensive class is. One general manager told me that this could be one of the best defensive classes ever. 3. What's the mood in New York now that the dust has settled from the Odell Beckham trade? Leonard, fans are angry. There is a still shock. I think I'm one of the few people who isn't shocked. But even someone like me, who was trying to tell people this was coming, who was reporting on the fact that they were having these type of conversations, and someone like Odell who had a feeling that something was happening and a year ago thought he was going to get traded, it's still another thing for it to actually happen. You say the sentence out loud, Odell Beckham Jr. is on the Cleveland Browns. You double-check yourself to make sure you said it correctly and you're not a few drinks deep. But the reality is this was coming. The Giants have done a pretty good job of not trying to pile on all the reasons why they wanted to move on from Odell Beckham, because there was a lot of drama behind the scenes that they didn't want getting out there. But the general manager is also minimizing Beckham's contributions and didn't fully appreciate the player that he had. 4. Saquon Barkley was one of the few bright spots in New York. What's the expectation for him in year 2? Leonard, the offensive line will be better and he will certainly be the focal point of the offense, both as a runner and receiver. Barkley, believe it or not, he does have a lot of things to work on. He can get better as a blocker, as most guys always can, and in the mid-season he made an adjustment to his running in order to get to the hole quicker. He can hit a home run no matter what. He needs to make sure he gets the 3 or 4 yards. 5. Are the Giants officially in rebuild mode? Leonard, the Giants aren't fully committed to either, which is their biggest problem. Anytime I say Eli Manning should be released, people think it's some agenda or negative against Eli. I just think he's not very good anymore. It is partially his ability, but it's also how in keeping him in trying to win now with a roster that doesn't have enough talent on it, and you're acquiring assets for Odell Beckham, and you're letting Landon Collins walk out the door, and you're trading Olivier Vernon while simultaneously keeping Eli Manning. They have not picked a direction. The Giants resent the question, what is our plan? But it's a very legitimate question because they aren't committing to a defined direction. More enemy reports. Washington, who is going to be the Redskins' starting quarterback in 2019. New York, Giants fans are still wrapping their heads around the Odell Beckham Jr. trade.